Oh, this guy. This guy, I actually remember this guy being pretty good.
Orders, Captain? Can I read you?
This guy I don't think is actually 1900.
Can I read you? Orders, Captain? Reporting for duty. Can I read you?
Yes, 7th. If you just do a real build, you will have success on the ladder. Keep building SCVs, do a real build, and you'll win.
Not enough minerals.
I'll give you a list of real builds. Alright? Terran vs. Protoss. If you're doing anything other than 14-minute 2-1, it's not a build. Versus Zerg. Just do 2 racks Academy into 4 racks into Mech, or 5 racks into Mech, or if you're a god, do 1-1-1. Those 3 builds are real builds. And then Terran vs. Terran, you can either gas expand or gasless expand. Don't bother with 14 command center. It's good, but you have to actually know the gas timings, and you have to control your tanks well early, otherwise you might get busted. And then after you do that opener, just go 2 fact tanks and try to go for macro game. 2 fact tanks with an armory in case you see raise. Of course, everybody goes vultures, but vultures are so fragile. Some games you'll like get a sick, like maybe you'll get like some sick mine hits, but other times you'll have just vultures and they just won't do anything. Like maybe you'll do a run by, or you'll try to lay mines on tanks and then they don't kill anything and then you just lose. So you might as well just go tanks and just play for a macro game. Of course, that's not like the only thing you can do in Terran vs. Terran. I'm just giving builds that will get you to mid game, and then you can go from there. Like, people saw this Terran earlier just try and run, what, 9 vultures past 6 tanks? That didn't work out too well for him. That's not to say that vulture run by is a bad build. It's a bad build if you don't scout and you just run them. But if you like pay attention and run them by when like Terran moves out, then that's different. But most people don't even think. They're just like, oh, got 9 vultures, run by. Saw flash do it, run by. Oh, okay.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Reporting for duty. Orders, Captain? Right away, sir. SCV good to go, sir. Job finished. Orders, Captain? Reporting for duty. Job finished. Orders, Captain? SCV good to go, sir. Can I read you? Orders received. You want a piece of me?
Oh, and then another thing that's beneficial, aside from doing a real build, is knowing timings. You don't even have to know, like, a ton of them, but enough. Like, this bunker placement, this bunker timing is actually a little early, because Vulture can't even get to your base until like 4 minutes.
Your forces are under attack.
See, it just came out now. Now, I don't know how long it would take for him to run here, but let's just guess, 10 seconds. So he would get here at like 3:55, right? Wow, I didn't build a factory. That's not good.
Not enough minerals.
Pro tip, while you're explaining things, don't forget to build factories.
Base is under attack.
Make sure you do a real build while you're talking. You might be dead because of this.
SCV good to go, sir. SCV good to go, sir.
Now,
Right away, sir.
here's the thing. He floated his racks really early, so I know for a fact he's trying to contain me.
SCV
So,
good to go, sir. Reporting for duty.
even though I hate this build, I think I'm obligated to go to Port Wraith now, because I have no... My factory is light years late. But we did get... It was nice of him to to float his,
Orders, Captain? Right away, sir. Can't build it.
or have to lift his factories off. So his tank push is actually a little late.
Yes, sir.
This is another non-build. If you're going expand just to go 2-port rate to stop tanks, it's not a build. But because I missed the factory, I don't really have any option. He's going to have so many tanks, and my tank count's going to be too low.
Add-on complete.
SCV good to go, sir.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Where's my...
Reporting for duty.
Oh, this is another nice thing. He missed his...
SCV good to go, sir. Affirmative. Outstanding. SCV good to go, sir. I read you.
He missed his
I read you. Job finished.
racks. Now,
Your forces are
why is there a
under attack.
vulture here? Oh, he sent that one.
Yes, sir.
We need to see if it's a run by or if it's actually tanks. It should be tanks. Oh, there's the turret.
Identify target. Yes, sir.
Your forces are under attack.
Yes, sir. Identify target. Identify
Research
target.
complete.
Reporting for duty.
Add-on base is under attack.
SCV good to go, sir.
Go, go, go. Attack formation.
SCV good to go, sir. Roger
Ready
that.
to roll out. Jacked up and good to
Yes,
go.
sir.
Proceeding. Standing by.
I read you. Build there. Right away, sir. SCV good to go, sir.
Oh,
Coordinates.
I'm pretty sure he didn't go Goliath, so I want to get this
Reporting
eBay.
in. Roger.
Oh,
SCV good to go, sir.
Attack formation.
I'm not too worried about getting contained.
Vector locked in.
SCV good to go, sir.
Roger. Ready to roll out.
SCV good to go,
Additional
sir.
supply depots
Job
required.
finished. I read you.
Transmit coordinates.
SCV good to go, sir. Reporting for duty.
Research complete.
Yes, sir. I can't build there.
Reporting in.
SCV good to go, sir.
You see, now even though I got contained, at some point he won't be able to just send tanks across the map because I'll have too many rays. He'll have to either build Goliaths or something. Wow, how long is that range?
Good to go, sir. Affirmative. I read you.
Standing by.
Also, he committed a bunch of money to this, so
I read
his
you.
expansion should be late.
Ready to roll out.
SCV good to go, sir.
Roger.
SCV good to go, sir.
Vector locked in. Roger. Vector locked in.
Yes, sir. I read you.
Transmit
SCV
coordinates.
good to go, sir. Job's finished.
Reporting in. Coordinates received. Attack formation.
It's not even done yet.
Roger.
SCV good to go, sir.
Reporting.
Now he can't reinforce, so now, at some point, I'll be able to just move out with SCVs and kill him.
Standing by. Jacked up.
Yes, sir.
Standing by. Reporting in.
Job's finished. SCV good to go, sir. Job's finished. Yes, sir. Orders
Waiting
received.
on orders.
Job's finished.
Ready to roll out.
Orders, Captain. Job's finished. Yes, sir. I read you.
Was this the guy that built like 100 rays
Transmit coordinates.
after?
Attack formation.
I don't know.
I
I
read
don't
you.
remember.
Go ahead, Commander. Reporting in. Identify target.
Add-on complete.
Wow, that's a lot of tanks.
Add-on complete.
Transmit
Job's
coordinates.
finished.
Reporting
Maybe I should be worried.
Destination proceed. Orders. Coordinates received.
Orders, Captain.
Reporting in. Go
Job's
ahead,
finished.
Commander.
SCV good to go, sir. Job's finished. SCV good to go, sir. I read you.
Go ahead. Ready to roll out. Rate the waiting launch orders.
He's literally only building tanks.
Reporting in. Transmit
Oh,
coordinates.
there's something that I want.
SCV good to go, sir.
Attack formation.
Job's finished. Yes, sir.
Your forces are under attack.
Oops, that's not what I wanted.
Proceeding. Orders, sir.
I read you. Orders received.
Moving. Proceed.
Job's finished. Orders captain. Orders received.
Reporting in.
Landing sequence interrupted.
Orders captain.
All right. Bring it
I
on.
read you. Field there.
Transmit coordinates. Transmit coordinates. Yeah.
Reporting for
Ready
duty.
to roll out.
Job's finished.
Reporting in.
He's going race. No way, he just has
Reporting for duty.
Upgrade.
two tanks just sitting there when he was building mass factory units.
Yes, sir. Proceeding. Waiting
Orders
launch
captain.
orders.
Roger that.
Reporting in. Yes, sir.
Your forces are under attack.
Target. Elected to, sir. Yes, sir.
SCV good to go,
Elected
sir.
to, sir.
Orders received.
I dig.
Orders received.
I dig.
I read you.
Coordinates received. Yes, sir. Elected to, sir. Orders, sir. Destination. Proceeding.
Orders
Your
captain.
forces are under
Orders
attack.
received.
Proceeding.
I read you. Right away, sir. Job's finished. Reporting for duty.
Destination. All right. Bring it on. Go ahead, Commander. Coordinates received. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Goliath.
Where did I get mines? I think he might have hit a base.
Right away, sir. Orders received. I read you. Orders received. Affirmative.
Ready to
Right away,
roll
sir.
out.
Job's finished.
Reporting in. Standing by.
Yes, sir. I read you. Roger that. SCV good to go, sir. I can't build there. SCV good to go, sir. Orders received.
Your forces are under attack.
See how you know? You just know when they go raid.
Systems reporting in.
I read you. Orders, Captain.
Reporting in. Destination. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Identify target. Reporting in.
Base is under
Reporting in.
attack.
Job's finished.
Roger.
Affirmative. I can't build there. Good to go, sir.
Coordinates. Coordinates received. Roger. Sector locked in.
Job's finished. SCV good to go, sir.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the guy that just
Go
went
ahead, Commander.
mass air with no
Sir.
Not enough minerals.
Goliath online. Locked in.
Reporting
no
for duty.
tanks.
SCV good to go, sir.
Upgrade complete.
Coordinates received. Attack formation.
SCV good to go, sir.
Go ahead, Captain.
Job's finished.
Systems functional.
SCV good to go,
Upgrade
sir.
complete.
Right away, sir.
Your forces are under attack.
Reporting for duty.
Go ahead, Commander. Calling online.
What's this guy doing?
Go ahead. Roger. Coordinates received. Standing by. Go ahead, Commander. Calling online. Sector locked in. Transmit coordinates.
Yes, sir. SCV good to go, sir.
Go ahead, Commander.
Orders, Cap. I can't build there. I read you.
Go ahead, Commander. Attack formation.
Don't do this trash.
Go ahead, Commander. Coordinates.
That's what it is, trash. You can use this versus people that don't like understand the game.
Coordinates received.
That's it.
Identify target. Proceed.
Your forces are under attack.
Yes, sir. Elected to, sir. Orders, sir. Attack formation. Systems functional.
You go build a command center in the base.
Reporting for duty. I can't build there. Yes, sir. Job's finished.
Channel open. Go ahead, Capcom. Acknowledge HQ.
SCV good to go, sir.
Online.
Your forces are under attack.
Target designated.
Destination!
Acknowledge HQ. target.
Reporting for duty.
Reporting in. Go ahead, TACOM.
Job finished.
Confirmed. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Orders, Captain.
Goliath online.
Now that we have him on the ropes, now you could. Now I could switch to Wraith if I wanted.
Systems functional.
SCV good to go, sir.
Transmit cord.
Job finished.
Channel open.
Job finished.
Confirmed.
Orders, Captain. I read you. Affirmative.
Systems
Job
functional.
finished. I read you. Orders received. Job
Goliath
finished.
online.
Job finished.
Go ahead, TACOM.
Orders, Captain. Affirmative.
Your forces are under attack. Not enough energy.
Vector. Channel open. Target designated.
I read you.
Go ahead, TACOM.
SCV good to go, sir.
Target designated.
Job finished.
Goliath online.
Add-on. Your forces are under attack.
Galactic command. Go ahead, TACOM. Acknowledged HQ.
Yes, sir.
Systems functional.
Job finished.
Your forces are under attack.
Confirmed. Acknowledged HQ.
SCV good to go, sir.
Not enough minerals.
Acknowledged HQ. Goliath
Your forces are under attack.
Job finished.
target designated.
SCV good to go, sir.
Ready to roll out. TACOM locked. Confirmed.
SCV good to go, sir.
Your forces are under attack.
Confirmed.
SCV good to go, sir. Roger that.
Goliath
sir.
online.
Orders received.
Channel open.
I read you. Yes, sir.
Channel open. Destination. Identify target. Delighted to,
SCV
sir.
good to go, sir. SCV good
Ready
to
to
go,
roll
sir.
out.
Affirmative.
Your forces are under attack.
LOL. What's this? He wishes.
Systems functional.
SCV good to go, sir.
TACOM locked. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Not enough minerals.
Orders, Captain.
Not enough minerals. Your forces are under attack.
Link online.
Yes, sir. I read you. Orders, Captain. Job finished.
All right, bring it on.
Job
Channel
finished.
What is he doing?
Forces are under
He's
attack.
like, oh,
sir. Bring it on.
now I'll go.
Reporting for duty.
Now that he just randomly moved away.
Roll out. Go ahead,
Orders,
TACOM.
sir. Proceeding.
Not enough energy. Your forces are under attack.
Identify target.
See ya.
Systems functional.
I read you, sir.
Go ahead, TACOM. Comlink online.
Bring it on.
You can do lockdown in Terran versus Terran, but it can only be versus battle cruisers. And it has to be like they're pushing. Like you can't push into them in lockdown, right? Because they're gonna have tanks just sitting there. So it makes it kind of difficult to use lockdown. By difficult, I mean very difficult. That Terran is that one game on Gladiator we had was actually pretty good, but like I said, when I knew he was going Wraith, right? Like I scan and I see 2 tanks. Well, there's no reason for you to put your tanks right where he put them. Maybe he puts them at his expansion and his factories weren't producing, so it was obviously Wraith. And then after I bust out, he's gonna have such a low tank count. And I already knew he was going Wraith. So my Goliath count is going to be massive. And I did know he had top, middle, but I just for some reason was like brain farting and didn't send stuff there. How many tanks did he have here? He had like 9. His bunker, his barracks land, that was actually a good move. It's nice if he was paying attention and landed it like right when I started moving out. That'd been pretty crazy. But to be honest, I just got really lucky that he put his factories right next to each other, so neither one of them could get an add-on. My tanks were so late. I actually wasn't expecting this many tanks for some reason. So it was 8 tanks. But yeah, this was like super obvious he was going Wraith. Let's see when he lands this Rex. Does he see me go out immediately? Yeah, pretty good. Alright, that was pretty good. To be honest, because these 2 tanks, they didn't even move at all because they're attacking this barracks. But I mean, you can see the supply. The guy's getting murdered. And look, all 4 port Wraith. It's not a build.